Weekday nights, the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. CTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune it in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, unless I'm live somewhere, like the Moline Logger House, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by Priority Lawn and Landscaping. If you guys don't want to cut your grass, or you got, a flower bed that needs to be mulched, cleaned out, I'll put some new shrubbery in. You got a retaining wall that you want to get done, pier patio, anything lawn and landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Give a call at 513-430-6114. That's 513-430-6114. You can also follow them on Facebook. And when you call Johnny or you message him on Facebook, do me a favor. Tell him you heard about it on Sports with Strawberry Ice. What is up to everybody in the chat? All right, let's see. I don't think Stranger was not first today. Stranger, you're slacking. You're slacking. Brad was in there first, then Stranger, then Paul Painter's in there. Bags Captain Tony Blade, the Fuzzy Balls. Lindsay's in there. Jerome. What is up, everybody? All right. We got some news of the day to get to before we get to my co-host and my guests. Trey Henderson was at Paycor today. He talked to media, basically said he doesn't plan on playing on his current contract, wants a new deal. Is tired of not hearing anything from the Bengals. So it's kind of the same stuff we've been hearing. I still believe this is going to happen. I'm hoping it happens before training camp. We'll see. That wheel just keeps turning and turning and turning. But big news for Cincinnati Reds fans and Pete Rose fans like me. Rob Manfred reinstated Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson they are immediately eligible for the Hall of Fame. Now, the Veterans Committee doesn't meet again until, I think, 2027. I think that's what Joe was telling me before the show started. So Pete and Joe will get in. I'm happy and sad at the same time. I'm happy he's finally going to get in. I think it sucks that he had to die for it to happen, which is kind of what he said was going to happen. But I am, going tomorrow night to the Reds game. So tomorrow night's show will be at 3 o'clock. I'm going tomorrow for Pete Rose night. So we're going to be honoring the Hit King. And it's going to be a great time. Mama T is going to join us. At least she said she would. She's not in the waiting room yet. I'm hoping she's going to join us here soon. But let me get to my co-host, who's with me every single Tuesday. He used to be bald. Now he's got hair back again. And he's wearing a green shirt. Oh, he's none other than Joe Farfsing. What's up, Joe?
Green looks good on me. That's why I'm wearing it. I mean,
You say so.
I look at myself in the mirror every day, so I know I look good.
Speaking of looking good, we have the man who has one of the best beards. All right, not the best. Gary Falter's got the best, but one of the best beards. He is the current co-fan of the year. He's my friend. He's your friend. He's Bengals captain. What's up, Cap?
You think I'm good looking?
Oh, you better than this guy. Jeez.
No, he doesn't. Joe doesn't need
Catching strays, man.
Yeah. Not fair.
Just kidding. You know I love you, Joe. He calls me old all the time, so I gotta get shots in when I can.
Because you're old. That's what happens. That's like
saying
you're wearing a Bengals, a Cincy hat. It's just telling fact.
Yeah, but I'm a good-looking old guy. It's all right. All right.
You look good for 60.
I'm not that old. 50, not 60 yet. I did get my AARP card though, so yeah, that's something. I accomplished that. All right, boys. Let's get into the topics here before Mama T joins. Hopefully, she's not having a problem with the link or anything. I'm trying to find out. But Joe, you can go first. What's your comments on what Trey Hendrickson had to say today, and Pete Rose and Joe Jackson finally getting eligible or being eligible for the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just Pete and Joe. I mean, there were 17 players on the permanent and eligible list that are now eligible. Now, those are the two guys that will,
the main one,
obviously the most notable and have actual Hall of Fame cases. I think they'll both get in, and I was wrong when I was talking before. They're actually on the same. They'll be part of the same group of players to be decided upon in 2027. Yeah, because there's a couple different groups of committees, for different eras of players, but they'll both be in the same era. So it'll be interesting to see. I think they'll both get in because it's not being voted on by the actual BBWAA members. It's a committee made of Hall of Famers and board members. Again, this is the same committee that had Tony La Russa that put Harold Baines, who was not a Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame caliber player, in. So I don't think he's going to have an issue. There'll be guys that he played with and have been banging the table for him. So, yeah, I'm not really. I think he'll be voted in the winter and be part of the 2028 induction in the summer.
Now, what's your thoughts on what Trey's been saying? Because I mean, to me, it didn't sound anything differently than what he's been saying. But what do you got there? You think the deal's going to happen or what?
Something's going to happen. I mean, there will be a deal happen. It's just exhausting, and it's got nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with, I mean, his agent has just fumbled this from the get-go. I mean, signing the team-friendly extension that he did a couple years ago, was just an awful decision. And he's trying to obviously recoup for that. And I mean, obviously I don't want to say outplay. How do you outplay your contract? You sign a contract, you get paid for it, but he's outplayed it. Yeah. I mean, 34 sacks over 2 seasons. Yeah. He's been amazing. I don't think there's going to be an instant drop off, with him crossing the 30 barrier. At least for a couple of years, before you get any reasonable decline. I think they know that. I think they believe that, but it's a matter of the Bengals just do stuff in a really, well, as a fan, it's a very frustrating method. Yes. Everything wants to be done on their timeline, and they want, and I've said this many times, they want to win every negotiation, or at least have the have it look like they've won every negotiation, and it's annoying.
Exactly. Yeah, Japanese Bengal. Oh, you from Japan? Hey, welcome to the show. It says Roy's not eligible until 2028, which I think you were saying that before the show, right? Right, Joe? They can't vote on them.
Yeah, the voting is in the winter of 2027, so it'll be 20, because this summer they're actually inducting guys from that same. Dave Parker's part of that same getting in because of the same committee, and it's every 3 years. Right. So
there you go. All right, Cap. What's your thoughts on what Trey said today? Pete getting eligible. What do you got?
I try to, as far as Pete Rose, I've got to think, even if it just helps me as a fan, I got to think that Pete knows. He kind of, I feel like he would have known, all right, yeah, when I go, they'll get me in. So I really hope some part of him.
Years, to be honest, he said, "I'll get in when I die, probably."
Yeah, that's true. I completely forgot that. Just sitting here thinking of the thought. So he knew he's a Hall of Famer,
right?
So and I'm trying to think that just to take some of it, because we've got the heartbreak of Ken Riley not seeing him inducted. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why does it keep happening? Why does it have to be, Cincinnati that hate? Go ahead, Joe.
I would say I really don't want to embarrass Ken Riley by lumping them together. Pete made his own bed, and that's why Ken Riley was completely screwed and ignored because he played for an organization that the NFL and writers seem to forget exist. Ken Riley deserved induction years and years ago. Pete signed his, Pete signed his own papers. Like, so there's, two different things. I just want to throw that out there. So sorry.
No, great point. Good thing to call out. As far as Trey, it sucks for everybody to be here. Mm-hmm. I get it. The agent has some blame, but at the same time, I don't think that the contract was terrible. It's the team liked it.
He liked it. It's just the defensive end line contracts have exploded. And he's your lead stacker. Yeah.
Trey has also exploded.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm. It is. Now I agree with Joe. I don't think 30 is going to affect Trey at all. I love the fact that he showed up, which of course I would have expected anyway. Comment in chat. Where was it?
Which one you got?
Stranger. The communication's two-way street. The Bengals have not. They may be spread too thin. They've not reached out to Trey. Maybe Trey's camp has also not reached out to them. I don't know. All I know is Trey's a great dude. I'm a huge fan of Trey. I hope it gets done. I still have a feeling it gets done. I hate the fact that there could be any kind of animosity. But Trey, if you're listening, the Bengals organization is made up of us fans, the coaches, the staff that love you to death, that understand your value, your teammates, of course, the front office, and just don't let maybe one or two people playing hardball sour the organization. The city loves you. So
exactly. Joe, you got something?
Well, I really think he understands that. And you listen to the tenor of his contracts. He even mentioned Myles Garrett, and that was a relationship that, I thought there was no coming back. Myles Garrett's going to be, Brown's going to trade him, and then all of a sudden they they write a check for, put a contract in front that has a certain amount of zeros that he wants, and everything's copacetic in up in Berea. So yeah, I don't think anything's beyond the point of salvaging. That's nowhere near as contentious. Like, he hasn't. I don't want to say Myles Garrett went scorched earth, but he was a lot more vocal in what he was saying. Yeah. So and to go back to almost 30-year-old movie Jerry Maguire. Show him the money. Yeah. Like that's money smooths over a lot of hurt feelings.
That's the whole thing. He wants to get paid, and like I said, the Bengals made the contract offer. He didn't like it. They haven't made one since then. We kind of mentioned Jesse James, who's NFL agent, told me this on the phone yesterday that, in his opinion, that the Bengals don't have enough people to sign contracts because you got Katie and Troy, and that's it. Which I think we all agree they need to add to the scouting department. So that, whether you want to believe it or not, I think that has something to do with it as well. Because I know Troy is negotiating the stadium deal and trying to get the NFL draft here. I know I've been told that by Jesse James. So he's working on that, and I think Katie might be working on the rest of the stuff. So
yeah, they can't multitask well at all. No, everything that went on, basically everything stopped when they were trying to get T and Jamar back under contract. Free agency and everything was slow played because they were still getting that worked out to the early stages. So it would be nice if they, beefed up to at least resemble modern NFL front office and have more people to do contracts and everything. But nice. we know they're not good at multitasking.
Yeah, it would be nice. Thanks for the $5 super chat from Fuzzy Balls. The Bengals should retire the numbers of their Hall of Famers. It would be awesome to see the numbers up in the stadium and help the Bengals' legacy. They're retiring. They're doing the Ring of Honor. So I don't know if the actual numbers, in my opinion, make that much of a difference. And do NFL teams retire numbers? I don't think a lot of them have Ring of Honors. I don't know if they retire numbers.
They do. Let me ask you guys, because you guys are at the stadium a lot more than I am. Do you think that they should do more like inside, like on the concourses, a lot more celebrating? Like Great American Ballpark does a fantastic job of celebrating the teams and the players and everything throughout Reds history. Do they need to do a better job? And again, I'm not there anywhere near as often
There's
as
a ton
to
of
be able to
stuff
have
around the
his.
stadium. There
What's that?
really is. There's a ton of stuff around.
Okay.
There could be more, but
Okay.
as you're walking around the concourse and you're looking inward, there are a lot of gigantic like murals to all the greats, and then they've got Ring of Honor, a little thing that you can actually use as a photo backdrop for all the Ring of Honor inductees. Of course, there's plenty of open space. They could do more, but I think the people that I've talked to that thought they never did anything, they just didn't walk around the concourse enough. So
one thing I would like them to do is I want a statue of Paul Brown. That's what I would like. I think the perfect spot would be right there where it says "Welcome to the Jungle." The players walk out to go to practice. That's where I think that's one thing I would like them to do is have a statue of Paul Brown, not Mike Brown, Paul Brown, because he's the reason we have the Bengals. He's one of the best coaches in NFL history, Hall of Famer, all that stuff. That's the one thing I would like them to do next, to start getting statues. And the first one should be Paul Brown. Go ahead.
I think what they should do is, how some, especially this a lot bigger in college, but how they have like Howard's Rock and shit and stuff like that, where players, they should just have a pedestal and one of Paul Brown's hats, like bronze, fedora or houndstooth, I don't know exactly, and have that, and like every player touches that before they come onto the field.
That would be really
cool.
But none of that stuff's going to happen while Mike's around. I mean, he.
Well,
actually, I'm kind of surprised because I was going to say because he's modest, but he was so reticent to sell the naming rights because he wanted his dad's name on the stadium. Yeah. So actually, I am kind of a little surprised. I mean, God knows the Reds have a ton out there, and they're doing more year after year. Thomas, I can't remember the guy's name. Thomas, it's a gentleman who does all the sculptures. He's a local guy. No. It's Tom. It's a Japanese last name, and I don't want to try to. I'm not going to.
Did all statues for the Reds?
All the ones for the Reds. I think he did $5 footlong Jesus up in Monroe.
Footlong Jesus.
He's done some statues at Xavier and everything, but yeah, he's very well known sculptor. So
that's good. I'm just checking to see if Mama T is answering me, and she's not. So I don't know if she's coming around. Maybe she.
Esther has a good. They could easily partner with the Arts Way as well. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean that would be something that I think would be cool for them to do that. But again, back to Trey, it's frustrating, and I get it. But I mean, Jamar went through the same thing. T went through the same thing. I mean, it stinks. I know he says he's not going to play on his contract, but the thing is, like, what I keep saying, and I'm not trying to take the Bengals side, but Trey has no leverage. I mean, he literally has no leverage. I mean, he can only sit out.
He's playing what leverage that he has, and it's not a lot.
Yeah, he can sit out 6 games, and then he loses the season. He loses the eligibility. Yeah. And then the Bengals could be jerks and turn around. They could tag him another year. They could tag him twice. They could do that. I mean, they literally, it's the way it is. I've said this before. Where they screwed up is they should have got negotiated more money on the last time they did the contract extension, which is, I think they realized that afterwards. That's why he said he wanted to retire. So, like I said, I'm not trying to take the Bengals side. I'm just telling you this is the facts. And Trey doesn't have a whole lot of leverage other than to not, he did show up. He's not participating, so we'll see what happens. I am praying to God it gets done before training camp. I mean, I really want it done before that. I really don't want to have to go through this during training camp or into the season.
Not again.
Yeah.
And I don't, and who knows if any of the drama with contracts had anything to do with last year's slow start, but the vibes were not good coming into the season. Just a lot of negativity coming out, and free agency was not exciting. The draft was not exciting. Also, they got T and Jamar signed, but you want the team, the 53 guys that are going to be there in uniform. You want them to be on as positive of a note, knowing that they're the guys that are contributing to winning football are getting taken care of. And someone pointed out something, I can't remember who it was on Twitter. This is 3 straight Cincinnati defensive stars that are kind of getting screwed over. When you talk about DJ Reader, you talk about Jesse Bates and Trey. It just screwed over. Like, I don't know, but it just not getting taken care of when they seem like easy decisions to make.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, screwed is a weird way to say, but not getting
Yeah.
taken care of because DJ and Jesse both got their money. DJ had to, or Jesse had to go through, play the whole string out before he got his money. And Trey might have to. I mean, if Trey might have to do that, and that's the thing is like if Trey doesn't ball out next year, and he goes on the contract, then I think it's that's where he might not make the money. That's why he's trying to get it done now. So,
Yeah.
Kat, what do you got?
Just finishing typing up some. So Matt Jenkins mentioned if I'm the Bengals, I give him a 2-year extension. The thing is, though, I feel like Trey has said that in interviews where, he's made comments where they have come back with a shorter extension, like a 2-year, and he wants longer. If I'm Trey, I would definitely want longer at that point in my career. Give me a Final Four, maybe. Because the way the age lines up. Now, again, I think Trey takes care of himself in a way that he can keep pushing. As their poor Deuce is drag on until camp. That's why I got the message to show up. He's in the same building with them. He needs one upstairs looking for the bathroom. Wander. Yeah.
Hey, Katie, how you doing? I just happened to be in town. Work some.
Just pop in. I got lost.
Like,
I'm in the wrong door.
I got lost.
Make a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Sorry.
Since I'm here, you want to talk?
I'm not going to spend anybody else's money, and then I want to go to another comment. I don't want to spend anybody else's money, but I feel like right now with the team that they have and with what the NFL is doing, they're literally printing money.
Yeah.
I personally am not worried about. You give a little longer contract with the ability to get out of it later. You throw a bunch of money up front, and it's a few million extra a year. A few million extra years just going to disappear because of all the additional money coming in, year out. I mean, the NFL is still growing. It's crazy. And the Bengals are growing because of the likes of Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T Higgins. Also, Trey is a big, that star caliber there too. So I get it. Like you could save a couple mil, but for me, you end up winning the Super Bowl with a guy like Trey, letting some of the youth learn from Trey. There's not so much pressure that they have to nail somebody that can replace 17 sacks. And that's a huge bonus. Winning the Lombardi is a lot of extra money, not just from the NFL, but through various sponsorships and such. Throw up Fuzzy, another $5, and now I'll go to the other comment. Heard Washington will offer a 2026 first round for Trey. If you guys do that, 2026 is a stacked draft. I gotta say no, only because I want my guy. I'll be selfish. I want my guy.
I gotta say no because I want to win a Lombardi this year, and a draft pick for 2026 doesn't help us now. And I think we are a better team with Trey right now than with some other. I mean, you can go draft another guy like Shamar Stewart, who I think Shamar Stewart's going to be a really good player. But I don't know. Well, like Ian said yesterday, I don't know if he's going to be an immediate impact guy. So just because you get a first-round pick doesn't mean you're going to have an immediate impact. And then with this defense, we need immediate impact player, and that's Trey.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it.
So the one comment I wanted to see, and who knows? I don't know the reaction that is going to happen in chat with this, but overzealous. Our ownership is terrible. Point blank, they're cheap, have no staff but their family, bad at contract negotiations, don't pay their stars, but will pay players. They're an ass backwards organization. I disagree with basically every point there, and it's backed up by facts. It's not an opinion. I saw you mentioned somebody else was a homer just because they disagreed. Call me a homer or what, but the fact is they
how much money did they pay T and Jamar? I'm just curious.
T and Jamar.
$250 million? Is that what it was?
They paid Joe. They actually got in front of the Trey contract. They
stepped out in front of that. Now they're getting killed for it.
Right.
Exactly. It's like
It's
they can't win. And that's where, it's funny because people ask about my opinion on stuff or call me a homer. I get a lot of, I have sympathy for a front office like that when people are constantly saying things like that. and completely ignoring what's right in front of them. The fact that, yeah, they actually do pay their stars. There will be somebody that gets away from the confines of Paycor, if you want to say that. DJ Reader, I think, was just a mistake about age, and that's why I'm so adamant that we keep Trey, because I've made that mistake before, thinking, oh yeah, it's beyond 30, injuries, blah blah blah. Like, no. You knew Reader was going to work his ass off to come back and excel because he's that kind of guy. Trey is that kind of guy. I've watched Trey in incredible amounts of pain, back, neck, whatever. I'm thinking we're toast. And I'm like, wait a minute, Trey's back out there. Like literally 2 plays later. He's not faking it. This is not flopping in soccer. The dude is a beast. He will not be taken off the field. When he's got to go off the field, it's serious.
Mm-hmm.
Bad at contract negotiations. Again, they got in front of Trey. They tried getting in front of Jamar Chase. I wish I knew all of the details behind the scenes.
Because they came to Jamar first. They came to him first.
I still think part of that was maybe Jamar thinking, hey, I'm going to bet on myself. Now, this case, if everything is true, and Trey just does not seem like a human being that would ever lie.
No.
He would just rather not say something if he doesn't have all the facts. Like everything that I hear him say seems like it's 100% truth and from the heart. So if the Bengals came to him saying, we'll get you done, like, don't say that unless you mean it. And it sounds like that's where some of the anguish is coming from for Trey. And I feel for him. Right. That I do not like. I do not like hearing that about my team. I love my team. I love my front office. I know for a fact they want to win. They might make decisions that a lot of fans don't agree with. They might have a different way of looking at things. They are improving. They are changing their ways. It is still a process, a work in progress. But I appreciate them. There are things that I would like to do differently, and unfortunately, they haven't called me yet to hire me. So
they should.
Yeah,
they should call you now.
Well,
they should call you. They should call Jesse James. Both of you get hired.
Jesse James is the man that I could protect the info, which I do have my questions about how that information is protected, especially back in the day. I've said the story before, but watching Carlos Dunlap on a live or put up a video and he's got stuff on his screen. I'm like, if I catfished one of these opposing players, in the division, could I? AI is good. You throw the right type of a shape to whatever woman fishing, and could we get some of that? Could we get next week? Hey, trust me, I will sink low if it means the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl. Fuzzy balls, when they agreed to pay T and Jamar $69 million a year, make sure Joe's Ferrari to drive, treat franchise, would give him Chevy Bowl. People also forget the minute that Zach stepped in the building, they spent millions on office renos. You want to talk about something that is anti Mike Brown? From what I hear, again, every time I've talked to Mike Brown, which is not a lot, the dude is hard to find. He's been really very, very cordial, very nice, very appreciative of the fandom.
You won't be hired. You're not family.
Well, see, and that's the thing. They've got all kinds of people that are not family, not only in the organization but rising the ranks. I feel bad because my buddy Dwayne, I call him my buddy, and I asked him a question around sales and ticket and stuff like that, and he answered it, but he's like, hey, by the way, I'm like, oh, I know, like, I keep forgetting you're not little Dwayne Herring anymore. Like, everybody has elevated up, and they're building I feel like a more diverse. I mean, heck, Emily Parker. I remember talking to Emily Parker with, her dreams of what could be, and now the influence and the control that she has over a lot more things, communication. It's cool to see. So, things are changing, things are growing. It's just, Joe brought up Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, I mean, that looked nasty. I remember laughing. Oh, poor Cleveland. And here we are with Trey. Honestly, that Myles Garrett thing could have been a little bit worse as far as how Myles just came out and kind of ripped, and then come to find out it has nothing to do with winning. He just wants paid, which, two foot injuries, and Cleveland needs a quarterback answer and a lot of other things.
They have lots of quarterbacks.
They have lots of quarterbacks.
They have lots of quarterbacks.
I don't know if that was
any
smart.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a smart contract. So there you go. Hey, Cleveland pays their players.
No,
Sweet.
They're
probably not going to sniff more than one win in a playoff if they make the playoffs the next 5-10 years.
I honestly think it would have been in their best interest, and I get you can't really do that. I know we're going off topic talking about another organization, but the organization needs an overhaul and a reset, and I think it would have been in their best interest to trade Myles for an absolute haul of draft picks to would have made more sense. And I'm fine with them not getting like not spending capital on a quarterback this year, because I don't like any of them. I don't think Cam Ward would have been the 7th best quarterback last year. Him going 1-1 is a waste by Tennessee. But they could have traded him and just built a team over last year's draft, this draft, and next year's draft, and spent money on the younger guys instead of Myles Garrett, who's getting up toward 30. I thought that would have been a smart move for them. Now, part of that is selfish because Myles Garrett absolutely destroys the Bengals, and it would have been nice to see him elsewhere. Although he probably would have ended up on the Ravens or something, because the Ravens have voodoo magic in their front office too, just like the Eagles. But I thought that would have been a smart move, just as an aside.
All right, now Overzet, whatever the hell your name is here, I can't read it. Look, I've been watching this team for 57 years, and I have never seen this team go all the way and win one damn Super Bowl. So I have lots of frustration. Dude,
Overzealous. Thank you for making that comment.
I've been a fan for 50 years. I haven't either.
I get it. I just want to say thank you, because a lot of people that I will respond to get nasty. I'll admit I expected him based on how angry the comments were. He didn't. Hey, I feel you. I do not have the length of fandom that you do, but even the people that don't, if they're frustrated for whatever reasons, you have the right. It's valid. We all fan different ways. I admittedly will try not to dwell on even the realities that are bad. And every organization, all 32 teams have bad things going on. I don't want to think about it, because this is a place of enjoyment for me. My job is stressful. I don't want to be stressed out about my team too. You obviously, there are some things that you're fed up with. I feel for you, man. I hope we can win a Lombardi soon, so we can all party and drink downtown, celebrate that Super Bowl championship parade.
Exactly.
Because in the end, that's all we want. We've got that same common goal, even if we differ, on how that happens.
Exactly. All right, Fuzzy Balls here. It says, if Trey brings up Myles Garrett, since he can bring up Deshaun Watson's contract to counter that, to show how financially insane that franchise is. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
That's owner interference is all that is. I think every dumb move that the Browns have made has been Jimmy Haslam. Like I think Andrew Berry's a smart guy, and I think he's a competent general manager. Drafting Shedeur Sanders, that absolutely was Jimmy Haslam. Myles Garrett was Jimmy Haslam, because he didn't want the negativity, especially when they're trying to get $600 million from the state of Ohio to build New Palace out by the airport there in I forget the Brook Park, whatever the hell. Obviously, Deshaun Watson was 100% Jimmy Haslam's doing. But yeah, I mean that's Deshaun Watson is an outlier. Thank God that really didn't screw up. I mean, yeah, players are getting more guaranteed money, but that was going that way anyway. I don't know how much Deshaun Watson really pushed because of how terrible he's been. Like that contract, everything surrounding that has just been a complete we're going to disregard that and negotiate all these contracts on our own.
It's been disastrous. It's been the worst contract in NFL history. If you really want to talk about the worst.
Everybody saw it coming too. Deshaun Watson was not that good.
I think
Not as much as he got paid for. No, he was good.
He was really good, and then he had to sit out for almost 2 full seasons.
Yeah.
And again, he deserves all of the shit that he took, but that all has to wear on him mentally. And this is a guy that wasn't the greatest processing anyway. He operated better, operated other ways, and his head just hasn't been in the right spot, and that's why it's been an abject failure. So yeah, I mean, someone that you knew was going to be out for that length of time, just a terrible. They had to swing for the fences because they had a great roster. So yeah, like Rob says, they had a fantastic roster. Number 2 through 53, that roster was probably better than everyone else's roster, the Chiefs, the Eagles, 49ers, every other team's roster, except for just that number 1 spot.
If they would have just kept
Baker.
Because the thing is, and I think it's great the Browns did this. I think they're stupid. I hope they suck forever. But Baker Mayfield played that entire season on a hurt shoulder. They knew he was hurt. That's why he had a bad year. He should have just went and got it fixed, but he did that to try to help the Browns. And then the Browns turned around and screw him. And I'm like, and the year before they went to a playoff and won a playoff game with Baker. I'm like, there was no reason to go get Deshaun Watson. It made no sense. And then you overpaid him and first and only fully guaranteed contract. It's crazy.
I think it's pretty clearly number 2nd best team, and that's. I don't think the Ravens are even that much further above where they are. I mean, obviously we know the Bengals defense has nowhere to go but up, but I don't think the gap is that much. Because the Bengals, again, Lamar Jackson during the regular season is as good of a quarterback, as good of a football player as there is, and as there possibly ever has been in the NFL, but. Bengals offense, and the rest of that roster is really, really good. So I don't even feel like there's a huge.
We're better on offense. You give us an average defense, we're number 1. The only reason I say 2 is because I don't know what this. I really do think that defense should have and could have played better, even given the injuries, even given whatever problems. I expect the same this year. But
question: how do you feel about this defense if Trey's not playing? I don't feel as confident about it. I'll tell you that.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, so that's where I'm like.
That's like saying, how do you feel about the offense if Joe Burrow is in there? Or maybe not Joe Burrow, but if T or Jamar is in there, obviously you're not going to feel great.
Right. That's how important this is to get him signed. Yeah. That's why you have a chance of being a competent defense with this offense and winning Lombardi with Trey Hendrickson on this team. If he's sitting out, not happy or whatever, that changes a lot of stuff. That's all I'm saying. Divine Thoughts in the house. What's up? Watson will continue to hurt Cleveland. He's going to Atlanta until they gave him that fully guaranteed contract. Yeah, he was. He didn't want to go to Cleveland. He did not.
I don't know why you would.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I spent a lot of time up there. It's not, someone put the comment there. As T-Berg said, Lamar's not good in the clutch. He's actually Warren Sharp. If you ever read Sharp Football, Cap, you familiar with Warren Sharp and his football analysis?
Yep.
He's fantastic. The most clutch quarterbacks trailing in the last 5 minutes since 2020. Lamar Jackson is the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL. He's not number 1 like Joseph Lee Burrow, but he's still he's a fantastic quarterback. There's
except in the playoffs.
He struggles. Yeah, he's not. I mean, I don't know what the issue is in the playoffs. Maybe just playing better teams.
I agree with you. The regular season playoffs, I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, weeks 1 through 18. I mean, the guy's unanimous 2-time MVP. He should have been MVP again last year. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about Lamar, except I think he's kind of ugly. But he comes across as just like an amazing, awesome dude. Like, you see all the interactions with fans, and he's a guy that if he didn't play at U of L and if he didn't play for the Ravens, I would absolutely be behind that guy because he's a legit dude.
He wouldn't. He's not what I would say is an attractive man. But the playoff thing, I think. I can't shake the feeling that he thinks that he's got to prove people wrong.
I think that's his problem. I honestly think that's his problem. Why he thinks
now Ravens fans talk about the play calling.
We're not disrespecting him. We're talking facts. We said he's a very good regular season quarterback. He actually does not do as good.
One of the
Bucs.
most
He doesn't.
dangerous players in the NFL.
He kills
absolutely.
us. He kills us all the time.
9-1 against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Which that's misleading.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, hell, last year he needed the refs basically twice, and we had no defense.
5 penalties on the freaking 2-point conversion. They could have called any of them, and they didn't.
Brutal. But no. So I've seen Ravens fans complain about play calling, but like I don't care about the play calling when he has. I've watched it. Open running lanes, and he sits in the pocket trying to make that big play. I'm like, wait a minute. He's looking for a 50-yard touchdown. He could literally run that 50 yards for touch. I've seen it. It's happened against us. I'll never forgive Nick Vigil.
Forever a GIF.
There's literally no difference, and it's probably more exciting because honestly, hey, you get me in the league, and you call me your running quarterback. Thank you. Pay me. Hell yes. Well, I will be a running quarterback. I will be a quarterback on the bench. I will be a quarterback grabbing people Gatorade. Get me in the league tomorrow. I'll be whatever quarterback you want me to be.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the way he runs that RPO, he runs better than anybody else because he can run. And that's why some of these guys are so freaking wide open because he'll run, stop, whoop, and just throw it right over. He did that to us last year.
The amount how effortless he can flick the ball 60 yards downfield. And it was, I can't remember if it was in 2024 or 2023. It was Zay Flowers. And like he literally just like barely put any effort in, and he threw it 65 yards downfield on a dime for an easy touchdown. Yeah, he's
like he dropped
6'1".
weight.
Yeah.
I don't, looking at combine stuff, it's not like he's a strength freak. It's some of that natural ability, some of the practice, some of the hard work, literally on the run and just flick. It terrifies me when I see him on the run, which when we're looking at guys who maybe are not as polished, but fast defensive end, fast, like lateral sideline to sideline defense. Oh yeah.
And he can set the edge in the run.
Oh yeah.
Fuzzy Balls. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Al Gold is going to have a much different defense with linebackers and safeties blitzing, accounting for more sacks and creating more turnovers. Yes, I agree with all that. That's the plan. That's what we want to happen. But it's got to happen with Trey. Trey's got to be here. And yeah, that's going to be a different defense. And that's what they've drafted. They've drafted athletic guys who can tackle. And that's what we need. Rob's got a question here. Guys, honest question. Do we have a Nick Vigil caliber starter this season?
You mean somebody who's going to get torched by Lamar? Is that where you're going? Like
Nick Vigil was not a bad football player. Because he went to Minnesota and had and played a handful of years. I think he played with Dallas last year. He's still in the league. Like he's not a terrible player.
Nick, Nick Vigil is the one that couldn't recover. That kicked that muffed.
That's yeah.
Yeah. I was like, thank you, Nick Vigil. Thank you, Nick.
Exactly. Thank you. Divine Thoughts, my boy. This is why I always yell at Lou for putting Hubbard out there instead of Miles.
Yep. Hang on, he says Hibbert. Is he talking about Dr. Hibbert from The Simpsons?
I'm pretty sure that Hubbard.
Sorry, I can't do my Dr. Hibbert laugh.
Lamar has had a hard time beating Miles to the edge several times. Yeah, I'm with you. Last year, I'm like, look, I love Sam. I do, but Sam, they needed to put Miles out there. And
especially when they realized that Sam was hurt and playing hurt.
Yeah.
And when he got hurt and he couldn't play anymore, then they put Miles out there. And they started playing Jordan Battle more, started playing Miles Murphy more, and Joseph Ossai more. The defense got better. It did.
They simplified things. Now they weren't playing good offenses, and that played a little bit. But just in terms of execution, like players looked like they were in the right spots. There weren't these wide open. You didn't see throws over the top, and you have the safeties and cornerbacks looking at each other, yelling, like trying to figure out who the hell was supposed to be covering that guy. So
that's what I don't want to see this year. I don't want to see. I don't want to see that.
I still think they should bring in Justin Simmons. I'm just going to throw that out there because he's out
still
there.
might.
Bengals created more, like they've created several $1 million in the past couple weeks, and they still have Jermaine Pratt. Like, why? What are we doing? Like, you have money, spend it. Go get Brandon Scherf, or go get Dalton Risner, or go get Justin Simmons, or go do something. You have money there, guys. Unless they're wanting to wait, so they can avoid having to do all this mandatory stuff, which I get. If you're a veteran, and you can skip out on getting some wear and tear on your body, absolutely. But
I like, to me, like I talked about this last week. I'm hoping they move that money around to do something with it, not to put it in their pocket. Either give it to Trey or go get somebody. Is what I hope. And like you said, they still got. I'm still shocked that Pratt is here. I thought for sure they would have cut him already, but especially after the draft, I thought they were
just for his sake,
right?
So that he can go out and because he's not going to be a Bengal. Yeah, he is not going to be a Bengal in 2025. Everybody knows that. So just it's weird, and you haven't heard anything from him, and he's someone who is not known for holding his tongue.
Maybe he changed his mind. Maybe the initial, because I do know with Carlos Dunlap, he was just at a point in his career. He was tired of the change, and he did not mesh well with Lou.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not doing it again. So he was definitely not happy. He got out. Maybe now, granted, we got somebody that all the players know and liked. But still, maybe Pratt was like, hey, Lou's my guy. I don't want to change again. I want to go play for Lou. Yeah. But maybe since then he's softened up and seen, okay, no, I like what's going on here. Golden has had a chance to talk to him. Maybe he stays. I don't know.
I don't think the Bengals want him though. They signed Oren Burks and they drafted two linebackers. There's not room for him.
Yeah.
Unless Pratt wins out.
Maybe.
That's why I'm saying, hey, pick up Scherf, sign everybody who, all right, fine. You want a couple of days off of training camp? I get it. Yeah. Sign them because somebody earlier asked if we had any holes left. I don't know that we have any glaring holes, but I think with the luck that we've had injuries the past couple of seasons, we don't have enough depth. I don't think we can ever have enough.
On offense, I'll give them this. Offensive line, I think we finally got enough depth this year.
We still don't have a starting right guard. Left guard is going to be holy crap! I'm spacing on Fairchild. Yeah,
right guard's going to be Cody Ford, and then
which is just a terrible. I don't. I like everything Cody Ford has. I like what he's about. He's someone who's absolutely he's been down for moving all up and down the line. That tape is ugly. That he's got several years of tape for multiple organizations, and it's ugly.
My point is depth wise. Not say what you want about to start. Depth wise, we have more depth. We have guys that can. We have two guys that can play almost all five positions. We haven't had that since Joe Burrow's been here. So depth wise, yes. So I honestly think Rivers is going to eventually be our starting right guard. That's what I think. But we'll see what happens. The thing is, it's all competition, which that's what we've always said that we want competition. It's all up for grabs. So, like I said before, did they do it the way we want them to do it? No. Did they fill all they got people there? Do they fill their needs? I don't know. We'll find out. That's where Al Golden and our new offensive line coach are here to develop these guys. So, but for everybody who is wanting to know where Mama T is, I don't know. She maybe forgot, maybe she got busy, but if you guys are tuning in,
I hope it's not me.
My apologies. I don't know. She said she was gonna be on yesterday, and I haven't heard from her today. So,
well, you know what?
I hope she comes.
Just for that, I want to throw out a shout out. I absolutely love Mama T.
Yeah,
I appreciate the hell out of that woman for taking on the trolls. Like there are, I mean, in the Bengals fan base, there are complete nutcases, assholes, the worst people in the world talking shit to her about T, who T is phenomenal. We love T. A couple of bad luck, years with hamstring, stuff like that. You know what the contract that he got will do, help him hire whoever he needs for a little extra get right, which if he hasn't already, T, I would recommend it. some of the game changers when you get a big contract in the NFL, having your own personal chef, having your own personal therapist, whether it's chiropractic, massage, whatever. Not Deshaun Watson. I'm like a
No,
personal,
Justin Tucker.
a professional relationship to get your body right, and then have them. You're a new man, but the people talking shit to Mama T, and she doesn't care. When she's got time, she's got time.
Someone explain to me the purpose of going after a relative of a professional athlete. That
especially the mother.
It's not even
especially the mother.
I'm sorry, it's small dick energy.
Right.
Tiny,
and it's like,
tiny.
And the thing with especially with T, and it's one thing if this were like Eli Apple, who's very outspoken and just kind of an asshole. Right, again, I still don't. That's still just shitty behavior. But outside of play well, or if you're a Bengals fan, have some soft tissue issues, what do you have to What are you even going after someone's family member? It's something I just never understood. Yelling at athletes and their families and everything. It's what are we doing?
Look through every comment that somebody's made, and I guarantee you, sometime that day before they made that comment, they got out of the shower, they looked down, they cried. They cried.
It's like the groundhog. They didn't see a shadow.
No. Well done. They're upset. There are ways to go about it to improve life. No, they want to go online and just be mean to everybody, and then eventually they run into Mama T. Except for
there she is. There's my girl. She made it.
Singing her praises as she logs on.
All right, hold on. We got to do this right. I'm so happy she made it. All right. She is one of the best people in the world, my friend, and of course, the mama to one of the best wide receivers in football. It's Mama T. What is up? There she is. What's going on? You were scaring me. I'm like, did you forget?
I did.
All good.
It's all good. You made it. I'm happy you made it. How's it going? Long time no see. I've missed you. I haven't got to talk to you in a while.
It's going.
Happy belated Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Did you see?
And also happy belated Mother's Day to everyone's wives and mothers out there on the dais and in the chat as well. So
did you see the picture I used for the intro? Did you pay attention to that?
Was it me and T?
Yeah, I'll show you again. Hold on a second. Here, watch it. There you go. You guys at the skating rink. How old is T there?
I'd say maybe 1.
Dang. Was he already out there skating?
That boy couldn't skate. You see where he was.
Yeah, in Mama's arms, right? Exactly.
Yeah. It's my baby.
Esther says hi in chat. Esther's in chat.
Yeah, I gotta get back over there. Yeah, everybody saying hi. There you go.
I got you.
I was clicking on some other stuff. So, are you as excited? I mean, you've had some big things happen this off season. I think it's you guys are all in a good place, and your T is going to be a Bengal. Hopefully, for the rest of his career, we're all ecstatic about that. I don't know if you saw the video, but the day the contract came out, me and Cap here were going, T.
No, I love to hear that in the stadium.
It is awesome. We scream our heads
It's
off.
going to be 100 times louder this season.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm ready for the season to start.
Oh, me too.
I'm kind of upset though that we didn't get to go to Spain.
You want to go to Spain? I wasn't going to go, so it doesn't. I understand people like Cap wanted to go. Cap was going to go, but
I wanted to go, but at the same time, South Beach is so much fun, so I'm not upset.
Do there.
It depends on what you're into.
Overrated.
I've never been there, so I don't know. I've been to Florida. I've never been to Miami. I've never been that far south.
It's more for the younger generation than it is for us.
I'm past that.
They also they have a time where they cut the beach where you can't go on the beach.
Really?
They closed the beach, yeah.
Huh? Guess too many stupid stuff going on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they're doing that down at the banks now. You got to be 21 past I think 10 o'clock now or something before you can go on the banks because all the dumb stuff some of the kids are doing.
That's good.
Yeah.
They've done that.
Got another
Fuzzy
$5
Ball.
super chat from Fuzzy Balls. We love you and T here in Clemson forever. We always have your back, and I hope T is a Bengal forever.
Thank you. I do too.
We were just saying before you come on how much we appreciate you for going after all of the assholes on social media.
I
hate-
love watching it. I'm like, go
I
get him,
know I'm
girl.
on social media. It's a love-hate relationship, but I really do hate it because of all the people hiding behind keyboards. Mama T does not give a. She will go after you.
It's a
I love it.
song or I think it's a trend or whatever you call that stuff now on TikTok where they go.
there we go. We're gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have my censor button handy, so
I'm not gonna curse. I won't.
You're allowed to.
you
I don't-
can.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
care.
yeah.
Yeah, it don't matter. Hey, Chop here says he wants to let you know your T-shirt's on the way.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the support. So I don't know which one you're getting, but I'm sure it's a T Higgins one, and it's awesome. So I'll have to buy one.
I think it's the one where it's like people screaming T, but I'm not sure.
We appreciate you giving him a nickname that's so easy, to echo through the stadium. I mean, if you went by his given name, that wouldn't be as easily to
No, it wouldn't sound good.
yeah.
Tory.
Not as good as T. T's a lot easier for especially after you drank a couple and everything. You're really excited. It's like you just say, instead of,
Yeah, you're down to monosyllabic grunts at that point. So
Y'all, please
telling you.
forgive me for laying down.
you're good. Don't worry
Oh,
about
good.
I was really asleep.
it. Hey, you've been on the show before. There's no. It's okay. However you come to the show, it's fine with me. I don't care.
Jeff doesn't have
Oh, that's
anything
cool.
on underneath his T-shirt either, so it's okay.
At least I got
Don't
pants
stand
on
up.
today. Yeah, at least I got pants on today. That's good.
No,
So are
the
y'all ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Ready?
You know I'm ready, girl. I'm ready for them to sign Trey and get this shit going.
I know, right?
That's the next thing we need to get. We're talking about that. We need to get Trey signed, and then everybody hopefully is happy, and then we come in, have fun, and win the damn Super Bowl is what I want.
We're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we are.
So that's a good question. How do all the player mamas and papas deal with contract drama and stuff like that? Do the kids talk to y'all, or is it pretty much nobody tries to stress anybody out? You're just rooting for good things to happen.
That's it. Just root for it. It's stressful
Yeah.
because you know what your child is going through, but you have to have patience, and that's something that I don't have a lot of. So, yeah, he's so calm and cool.
So
He's real calm and cool, but
How hard is it to tune out? And especially, I mean, thankfully, everything got his deal signed, and he's here long term. But how hard is it to, at least on your end, to tune out all of just the noise from, and not even on social media with jackass fans and haters of other teams and everything like that. Just all the noise from you've got all these writers from ESPN and all of these outlets that have their own thoughts, or that they think they know what's going on. How does it just to kind of ignore that and just say, my son's worth this, he's going to get paid what he's worth, and everything's going to get taken care of?
how do I feel?
How hard was it
To ignore
to
them.
tune all the noise out?
It was hard.
how good was it to do this to everybody once you got the contract going on?
It felt great.
I bet it did.
Yeah, it felt great, but yeah, in all seriousness, it's really hard.
Mhm.
because you got people saying so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're coming for your child, you're a mother's natural response is to check them and to make sure your kid is okay. Don't come for my kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So it was because I'm one who won't bite their tongue. It was very hard for me, but I made it through.
Made
And
it through.
then afterwards, y'all saw that.
Hell
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Esther wants to know if you're coming to training camp this year.
I don't know. Probably
She-
not. But then
She's ready for
again,
you if you do.
who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, we
I
got
really
another $5 super chat here. Fuzzy Balls. Firing his agent and hiring Jamar's agent was the smartest move ever. Rocky for the win. How big of a move was that, or how stressful was that for him to switch agents? For you, I'll put it that way. You can't answer for T, but for you.
Yeah, I can't answer that. I mean, my son, it's business.
Yeah,
That's all I can say about that. It's business. He did what was best for him.
exactly. Now, how big were you smiling? Because I thought you were in town for the contract signing, but apparently you weren't. But
No.
how big were you smiling when T expressed that, Mom, I got you. You don't have to worry about nothing. Everything's taken care of now. Because I almost started tearing up watching him do that, because I'm like, yes. I know, because I remember talking to Eric back a couple years ago and all that stuff. So I talked to him and you about the stuff. So I know a little bit, but just how did that make you feel? Like, it was like, yes, we're done. It's good.
Yeah, I was proud of him. He accomplished his dream.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was something he wanted. He's always wanted to play for the Bengals. That was his favorite team growing up. In
Yep.
spite of what some knucklehead said or tried to post.
I remember. I'm like, what are you talking about? His favorite team was the Bengals. I even knew that.
Yeah, fucking ass wipes. But yeah, I lost my train of thought getting onto them.
That's okay. It happens to me all the time. I'll start talking about something and then it just goes away.
Yeah.
It happens when you turn 50. I mean, well, for me anyway. I'm 50.
Hey, I'm right there with you, baby. In fact, I'm older than you are.
That's why we're
Yeah.
not going to South Beach. it ain't for us no
crazy.
more.
You
Our
can't
days.
keep up.
Oh, dude, heck no. No.
I can't party like I used to. It takes me 2 or 3 days to recover.
See, that's why
Gatorade and ibuprofen. Right before you go to bed, you got to chug a big ass Gatorade and pop 4 ibuprofen. That's a good dose, per medical. You're a champ in the morning.
My Dr. Captain. Dr. Captain's taking care of me.
But
Thank you, Dr.
my wife.
Captain. Thank you.
Yeah,
Keep that noted.
Yeah, if I'm not in bed by 11 o'clock, man, it's a rough one out there. So I completely understand that. I mean, I don't even know what time I bailed at your party, Jeff, but it was well before that, because it was a long drive from the west side to the east side to get back to my house.
Yeah, funny thing is, I don't remember you leaving my party. I don't know why.
Yeah, I like the day party.
Yeah.
Day
drinking is a lot more fun.
Day drinking is the best. We're going on a cruise in a month. And like the second we get out of wake up and get out of our room, it's straight to the bar, because we'll have the unlimited drinks package. So 10:30,
wow.
I'll be having either a pina colada or margarita or something.
You're going for a bourbon. You are.
Oh, it's on a ship. I'm a pirate. Give me all the rum I can have, man.
So Michael Jordan, I think I'm saying that last name right. Great comment. He says, my wife and I were able to meet Mama T and her great husband. Sorry for the loss, but thank you for being so sweet to my wife and I. We had the best time with you. Please share this. So I've heard a lot of little stories like that, how great you are. So thank you for embracing the city of Cincinnati and all the fans, because a lot of good stories about you that you may have never heard.
I haven't. And tell her I said thank you.
I remember. So my son was telling. I was about to eat with my son last night, and I said, "Yeah, I got Mama T on tomorrow." He goes, yeah. He goes, "I'll never forget this." He goes, "This is like right after I met you guys. We were walking over to Bengal Jim's tailgate, and I'm walking that way, and I think you guys are down that. I think you're coming from another tailgate, I think. And I didn't see it, and I started walking, and he said, "Yeah." All of a sudden, I hear somebody go, "Strawberry ice!" I'm like, "Hey!" And I ran over, gave me a big hug, and he's like, "Who's that?" I said, "That's T Higgins' mom." He goes, "Do you know T Higgins' mom?" I said, "Yeah." I know his dad too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the coolest things that I think about meeting you guys is you're real people, and like you got a very special son who is an awesome player and gets to do something that most of us don't get to do. But that hasn't changed you guys. You guys are still the same people.
No, we can't let that change who we are. We got to stay grounded.
Yeah,
We
and you
got
got
to
to
stay
fight for
grounded.
it.
And I mean, we come from nothing. So to be where he is now, because he doesn't know the struggle.
Right.
He knows the struggle, but he doesn't know the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to put me in a position that he's put me in, I never saw that.
Right.
I never dreamt it, that he would be in the NFL or it. God has a funny sense of humor,
Mm-hmm.
funny sense of humor, and that's what it was.
Yeah. Have you gotten a ride in the Lamborghini yet, or is it
I don't
Lambo?
want to.
No, they are smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, I do not want to.
I don't know how he's comfortable
I
because
don't
they are
either.
tiny.
His long legs.
Yeah.
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 He would not. I don't know how he fits in there. I mean, I have a hard time fitting in cars, and I'm not tall.
I've been in one. I'm 6'3", and I was claustrophobic. It's cool. Now, don't get me wrong. If I could afford one, I'm buying one. But it's tiny.
It's like someone posted about him, Jamar, and it was another person with them that they were excuse me, my phone is buzzing. That they were speeding when somebody captured them, driving or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's on Jamar's blog. I think.
Yeah, they were not speeding.
Yeah, no, they weren't. It just looks like
It's
it.
like people just say
So,
whatever.
yep, just all that.
And it's like, oh my gosh, shut up.
It's like was there a speedometer on the video? Like, do you know for a fact? Like, how do you know he was speeding? Like,
I know for a fact because of what they were doing.
right. Well, I'm saying that not for you. I'm saying that for the people who said that they're speeding.
Oh yeah.
How do they know? Or what makes
Right. It looked like it.
You cannot make those cars look like they're going slow. Like
it's a Lambo.
they're parked. Yeah, they're parked. I've seen them parked out front in hotels and everything, and they look like they're doing 185, and it's just sitting there. So
you hear it. You hear the engine at 25 miles per hour, and it sounds like they're doing 100.
Yeah.
They were not. They were just filming, and it wasn't going that damn fast.
People are crazy.
Yeah, they are.
Exactly.
So, mental health at its finest.
No, that goes back to Twitter. I mean, you got to be, just for me doing this for the last 7 years. You and I'm not taking anywhere near the spears that you guys take, but you got to have mental toughness and just don't give a f what people think, because people are going to say all kinds of stuff to you because they're behind the keyboard. I'm like, I've told people, like, here, I'll give you a link. Come on the show and talk to me. Nothing. Silence. Nobody's ever taken me up on that. And it's really easy to just sit there and go on this and say whatever you want. And it's unbelievable to me of how
at least attach your real name to the damn, to your damn Twitter account.
I haven't ran into anyone who's talked shit to me yet.
Exactly. Come say it to my face. Right.
Anonymity is a wonderful thing for assholes and trolls.
Yeah.
But they think it's anonymous. So, Mama T, I work in cybersecurity. If you actually need to track anybody down, you let me know.
Oh, thank you, Captain.
Yeah. I do that for a living.
We're going to start hunting their ass down. And putting them on blast.
Hypothetically, of course, but, we have pseudonyms made up. And
Not to hurt
second.
him. We're not gonna hurt him. I just want to say a few words.
Exactly.
That's all.
You get a different attitude when you send somebody a photograph of their kitchen. Yeah. Things change.
Right.
Things
Where
change.
the hell
quick.
is he at? What?
Your milk's expired, dog.
Exactly.
I asked this dude about the wine cooler that he had and why he's got palm trees on the outside of his house in up northeast. He was an orthopedic surgeon, getting nasty. I was like, hey, dude, does your boss know you do this to people? And what's with that ugly ass wine cooler in your kitchen? And I showed him a picture. I got blocked immediately, but he was saying some nasty, scary stuff to some people. I'm like, no, it's not that serious, man. This is Twitter,
Right.
it's football. Yeah. People
It's
get
not
all in
that
their feelings.
serious.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk shit with the best of them, but when you start getting into your family and friends, so that's a little.
Yeah, you don't. Now I will say your mama to somebody real quick. They say something about me, your mama.
That never gets old.
I say
Never.
All right,
That's
Michael,
a classic. But,
Exactly.
okay, yeah.
Michael Madden wants to know, Mama T, how many TDs do you predict T will have this season?
As many as Joe throw.
That's good. That's good. That's a good one. I want to talk about I think it was a play last year against the Vikings where he caught it and swung the ball around. Like I was sitting in 158 and it was down at the other end zone. And I had to watch it on the Jumbotron. I'm going, because my son goes, that's a touchdown. I was like, how the hell is that a touchdown? He was out of bounds. He goes, no, he swung around. I was like, what do you mean he swung around? I saw that play. I'm like, how in the hell did he do that without tearing? I would have tore an ACL, ripped my spleen out, whatever, just to try to twist like that. That was. Have you ever
Thank
seen
God
him?
he didn't.
Yes. But have you ever? I mean, is that the most amazing play you've ever seen him make?
No.
Which one's better?
The one I've seen he was in high school.
Okay.
Where he jumped up between two guys and caught the ball. And we actually were losing. He caught the ball, I guess, down by the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
And that was just amazing to see a kid do that. So what he does now really doesn't surprise me.
She's like, I've seen it before. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
That made me think that the touchdown catch against the Jets, where he went up. I've never seen a guy catch a football at the high point that high ever. And I posted a photo on Twitter. I tried to do the math of the defender, his height. He was crouched down like he was almost 12 feet in the air. That ball was almost 12 feet in the air, and he brought that down. It didn't count because that bullshit rule about if he's going backwards.
It was a touchdown, damn it.
It was a
He didn't have his
touchdown.
friggin' heels in. That's stupid.
Yeah, it was a touchdown.
He never came down out of bounds. Like how?
Yeah.
He had his feet in and kept his heels up. It's a touchdown.
But that was watching that in slow mo is art. That is art.
Yeah, he has good football awareness. He's just a special kid. A special
Caden
young
Watts
man.
says
Let me
Mama
stop
T for
calling him a
president.
kid.
Mama T for
Yeah,
president.
put me in the White House.
And then they always say, I love Mama T, they say.
Yeah, we'll all have fun and get along.
There you go.
Put me in the fucking White House.
It needs to be the orange. It needs to be the orange and black house then.
I'll
There we
paint it
go.
orange and
Stripe it
black.
up. Stripe it up.
Yeah, we would do that. And put a big ass a live tiger out in the front yard.
Be like Mike Tyson in The Hangover.
Yeah.
I want to meet Mike Tyson one day. Like that's one dude that he's funny as hell.
So Caden here says, love Mama T from Washington State. Who day?
Nice.
Who they?
There you go. All right, Mama T. I appreciate. I don't want to keep you out here too long because you look like you just woke up and everything. And I appreciate you. I
No,
appreciate
you look
coming
beautiful,
on.
Mama T.
Thank you. I'm going ready to go back to sleep.
All right.
Well, I don't want to keep you up any longer. I appreciate you coming on the show, and like I said, I can't wait to see you this year. We're gonna have to hang out and have some fun like we always do.
Thank you for having me, and I can't wait to see you guys this football season.
Absolutely. Who day?
Absolute.
Who dey?
Absolute pleasure.
Today.
See, she's awesome.
Man,
She's cool.
she's awesome.
I was like-
It's so cool that we have it's not just that the families interact. It's we have some extremely special family members
Mhm.
with extremely special football players.
Yep.
Like there's not another Mama T anywhere in the world, and that's a great thing. And we are lucky to have her in Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I got a special relationship with her, and then Cam Taylor Brett's mom and dad are just freaking.
Oh man, those two.
Darren and Courtney are amazing. They are awesome people. They've showed up to lots of my tailgates and different stuff. They don't have to, and it's awesome. I appreciate them always showing up, and so they're and that's what I said. It's none of they can big time us. Like my kid's an NFL player. Who are you? And none of them do. The ones that I met, none of them do it.
Hey, I'll big shout out to Robin and Jimmy Burrow too.
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
I mean, you want to talk about nice people, appreciative. I mean, just and that's Joe. Like Joe will smartly avoid certain situations, certain crowds, because otherwise he's toast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't afford. Boomer Sison used to take a limo. I don't know, it's a limo, a car from the cafeteria to the practice field. Just because he get mobbed. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. That's Joe. Now Joe will actually walk around and sign stuff too. But all the player. I can't wait for training camp. It's hot, but
Okay, I'm ready.
tomorrow go around signing people. T's going around signing people. Like there's always going to be those players that training camp is such a great time. It's tough sometimes. You got to get lucky that the player comes up to you, but you want to get some autographed. You want to sometimes I'm just handshake, fist bump. I'm going to miss my Sam Hubbard fist bumps at training camp. It's like I got a couple of autographed items. I'm not going to bug him every time. Kids are in front of me lined up getting autographs, and he'll look up and a little fist bump. He's like, hey, what's going on? Stuff like that.
I do that.
Always cool.
Zach's the one that does that with me because he'll every once in a while he'll come in, he'll walk back from the practice field, and usually when we get autographs, it's better to do it when they're walking back. And I remember last year he had a whole bunch of people he was signing autographs for kids and everything, and I just kind of stood there. He looked up, he goes, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "What's going on?" Like, gave him a fist bump. He goes, how long you been here? He said, "Were you up on the bridge?" I was like, "Yep." I was up there.
That's
He's
cool.
like, so yeah, it was cool. All right, boys, this has been fun.
Well, real quick,
yeah.
Caden, absolutely. Mama T, beautiful. She said she was older than Iceman. I don't believe her at all.
I've been told not to ask women's age, so I didn't ask.
I know, because I'm like, and it sounds cheesy because I'm like, I was going to say like, no way. Like, I would not have guessed anywhere close.
No.
I don't think she's that much older than me, to be honest. I don't know how old she is.
She look. I'm sorry, Jeff, but she looks about 15 years younger than you.
That's because I have gray. And I got glasses.
At least.
That still wasn't being that complimentary.
At least. And then shout out to Michael. Gave me a little praise.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate you. Cat needs flowers as well. Met him in Carolina last year. Talking before the mean section lady came. I remember that. I almost remember what you look like, but I feel like there were a few people that I talked to, so that narrows it down. That's cool. I appreciate you. And stayed in the same hotel. Oh, the Vegas. Now I do, because you mentioned the Vegas hotel in Carolina. Now I remember. Sweet. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Awesome.
Like, hey, it's one of those things where people online will hate me, but then you meet me, you're like, oh yeah, he's really not that much of a.
Yeah, he's not that much of an asshole. He's actually kind of a nice guy.
See, people come away with the opposite thing. Like, they think I'm reasonable, and then they're like, God, that guy's a dick.
I thought he's a lot nicer.
I don't know which is better,
All right, boys. Well, I'm gonna end this thing. I appreciate you guys jumping on and hanging out, and I'm Appreciate
Hey,
Mama
thanks for
T.
getting me on with Mama T. Like
Yeah.
I'm starstruck. She's so
Yeah.
awesome.
I
It's
was,
been a
I
long
was getting
time.
worried. That's why I
Nah.
freaked out when she finally came. I'm like, yes, all right, good, she's here. I'm always worried about
And
that.
once again, she could have just kept sleeping. You
Yeah.
sent out
Yeah.
a text like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
not feeling." She came on like, man, that's amazing. She didn't have to. She did. I appreciate you.
That's why she looked tired. I didn't want to keep her on too long. She jumped on, so I
Yep.
just appreciate her giving me the time of day. So
Yep.
appreciate you guys
And
joining
then,
too. It's been fun. What do you got? Oh yeah, you got the
yep. Oh no, yeah. I was gonna point to the T, but I'm like, yeah. We're
no
we're a
T.
three-way. Wait a minute.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that guy right there.
There.
T.
T.
You want to do one for the ending?
Yeah. Ready?
All right. T.
Let's go!
Oh man, that gave me goosebumps. I can't wait.
Oh my goodness. That's a good way to end it. All right, boys. Appreciate you.
See y'all.
All right, boys and girls. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Thanks to Bengals captain Joe Farfsing, and of course, the one and only Mama T. I said she is an absolute joy, and it is fun watching her roast people on Twitter. I thoroughly enjoy all of that. Thanks for watching. I've been live streaming on ZTV, Facebook, X, YouTube, Twitch. You can follow me on all those, along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And I was able to pull the sound off and put the show on the podcast yesterday, so we'll try to do it again tonight. If you want to listen to the podcast and not watch us for an hour, it's on BeamPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Leave a comment so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. This show right here, we got 421 people watching right now. Hit the thumbs up, comment on the show, share it out, tell everybody about it. I appreciate you guys because I can't do this unless you guys watch. So I appreciate you guys watching and giving me the time of day. As always, exactly, Fuzzy Ball. Shout out to my sponsors, of course, Priority Lawn and Landscaping. You guys got lawns you don't want to cut. You got flower beds you need mulched or cleaned out, or flowers planted, shrubberies done. You got a landscaping project that you want help with. Like you got an idea in your head of how you want to do it, but you need somebody to help you actually design it or whatever. Do me a favor. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Give them a call at 513-430-6114. That's 513-430-6114. You can also follow them on Facebook. And when you do, tell Johnny you heard about him from Sports Strawberry Ice. Also, show is brought to you by T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And, of course, you got Meyer Windows, Door, and more. Check them out at MeyerCincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get it in your house. You get free estimates. Matty Myers will show up there with the Jackpot Joey mobile. Speaking of Jackpot Joey, we got the Jackpot Joey golf outing coming up this Sunday. It is already sold out. Bengal players will be there. Former Bengals players will be there. Current Bengals players will be there. It's an absolute blast. It's a third annual time. If you're not playing in the golf outing, you could show up and bid on some of the auction stuff we have there. There's a lot of cool things there. All the money goes to the Joe Burrow Foundation. So come on. It's at Ashton Oaks. Tee off, I think, it's around, I want to say 11:30, something like that. So we're probably doing the auction and all that stuff 6-ish, give or take, around. Come hang out. I'll be driving around in a golf cart, doing stuff, having fun. Again, it's Ashton Oaks. Come on and support us. Third annual Jackpot Joey golf outing. Tomorrow, just remember, the show will be at 3 o'clock tomorrow. I got Mon, the fireman from Bengals Pulse. He'll be on, along with Jesse James Taylor, the NFL agent. We'll be discussing contracts, more stuff with Trey, more stuff with the Bengals, more stuff with Holy Pete Rose. And I know people made comments about Pete, and I did talk about Pete at the beginning of the show. Oh, I just got a text. Tyson Anderson is confirmed. So Tyson Anderson will be joining us at the Jackpot Joey golf outing. So my dude will be showing up. He's an awesome guy. He was at my draft show at Mount Lookout Tavern. It was great. But tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Jesse James, Mon, the fireman from Bengal Pulse. It's going to be a good show because I am going to go to the Reds game for Pete Rose night. Hopefully I get one of those cool jerseys. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Other than that, remember this: Who Dey for life, and throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Weekend nights, the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry icy's on the mic, energy, it's good delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave.